My name is Gary Green, and I am a healer. I have always considered myself a healer of some type. I have always been interested in the paranormal since I was about 8 years old. I now consider myself a good healer. Over the many years, I've studied many different healing modalities: massage therapy, working with angels, working with crystals, healing energy, working with other spirits and guides. They all work to a degree, and they all help people. But one thing everyone must understand and must remember: they are not a cure-all. Yes, they can do amazing things. They can help people. They can increase your quality of life. But you also have to remember to use it with modern medicine. They go hand in hand. And that's the way I think you should treat it. There are many different teachers out there. Some teach working with crystals. Look at all the books out there about working with crystals or working with angels. Many books out there. And also massage therapy that works too. Reiki is another good one. They're energy based. They do work. They can work. Some say you have to have a belief in it to work. Me, not so much. They will work on various levels and degrees. They will work. But you are the final judge whether they work or not. Does your quality of life increase? Does it get worse? Is there no change? Did you go in to see a healer with very high expectations? Unrealistic expectations. Only you know that. There's all kinds of healers out there, good, bad, and indifferent. They all say they can do many wonderful things, and a lot of them can. Truly, a lot of them can. Yep. But what's it take to be a good healer? What's it take to be a healer? There's shamans out there. And I've always wanted to see a true shaman. And I've been fortunate enough to do that. Everybody has their different paths. The trick is to follow your path. You gotta have monies. Without monies, you can't pay for the teachings. Without monies, you can't pay for the books. Without monies, you can't pay to go travel to see the teachers, the other masters, the people who have experienced this and can give you firsthand knowledge of what to expect, of what not to expect. Money is not the root of all evil, but by golly, it sure does help you get there. Get to where you want to go. It does. That's why I think healers should have some form of payment for what they do. They've worked hard for it. They have sacrificed for it. Oh yeah, healers sacrifice. They sacrifice time. They sacrifice energy. They sacrifice their sanity at times because they're working with these energies, these spirits, these guides. Sometimes it's not a real fun adventure. It's a learning adventure. And sometimes it'll scare the bejeebers out of you. But hey, for the true healers, they understand that. They know that. And you have to realize you cannot heal everyone. Not everyone wants to be healed. Not everyone can be healed. We each have our own path that we have to follow, whether we like it or not. Many times I've tried to get off the path. And it seems like I've always been drawn back to the path of healing. But there again, you got to have monies. You got to pay the bills. If you like to eat, you got to have monies to pay for the food. Yep, you got to have it. So you got to have a job. I got a job. Work 50, 60 hours a week. Now, I enjoy doing healing. I read books. I work with the energies. I work with the spirit guides. As such, a lot of other energy workers do. We sacrifice time. We sacrifice effort. We sacrifice our energies to learn. But it's a fun. To me, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm fortunate enough to have a loving wife who doesn't think I'm bat crap crazy. And we have a good time. But I want to let you know, if you choose to walk the path of a healer, there's good times, absolutely good times. And there's some bad times. When you doubt why you ever chose, why you ever decided, why you ever allowed yourself to go down that rabbit hole. That's a deep rabbit hole sometimes. Yes, it is. And the more you get into it, the more you want to learn. The more you get into it, the more you learn, the more you find out there's so many branches to learn. Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy talking to other people doing the healing. I enjoy using the universal energy to help people, to see the change in their life, to see the change in their quality of life, to take away that pain. To me, that's great. That's what it's all about. But there's some that you just can't help. And that's a hard lesson to learn. Very hard lesson to learn. No matter how much you put into it, no matter how much you will it, just don't happen sometimes. For various reasons. But it's not because you did a great job or a poor job, it's just not going to happen. And I think we've all experienced that at some point in time in our lives. Yep. But for you people who think you're a healer, who want to be a healer, there's a lot to it. Yes, there is. You learn, you constantly learn. You think about things nobody else thinks about. You sense things that nobody else can do it. You may even see or hear things that nobody else can hear or see. And if you're out in public or you're working a full-time job, you got to be careful. Because if you're working with somebody else and you start talking about spirits, energies, and this and that, they may not take kindly to that. They may think that you need to be working somewhere else. So you got to be careful. You lead almost two lives sometimes. And that can be harmful. It's like the energy wants to flow through you, but you dam it up. Because you got to live in this world. You got to survive. You think healers the majority of them make a killing in monies? Nah. Most of them don't. They get by. Some do very, very well. Have you seen them out there? They've written books. They do workshops, and that's great. It helps them. But a lot of them don't. A lot of them enjoy helping people. They do what they can to help others. And that means people, humans, animals, plants. It all works. But when you work with energies, you change. Yes, you do. Well, they don't tell you about Reiki, for example. You get initiated into Reiki, you go through the different levels. Reiki will heal you from the inside out. It pushes all that crap that you've buried over the years, your experiences you buried over the years, it pushes all that to the front, and you got to deal with it. One way or another, you're going to have to deal with it. Because that's what it's going to do. Some can, some can't. Some realize that that is not their cup of tea, and they need to be doing something else. Yep. Shamans, for example, they get called for that. That's tough. They work with spirits, animals, knowing. Yeah. It's a different calling. It really is. Not for everybody. But it can be rewarding. When you learn the techniques, you learn how you work with it, because everybody works with it differently. And that's the difference. Do you want to do that? Can you do that? There's times I wonder about myself. And I've been doing it for a long time. I guess I've been doing it now 30 years. 35 years, getting more into it. Highs and lows, yeah. Dealing with people, working with energies. Pranic healing is a good one, I like it. You can do a lot with it. Working with the chakras, cleansing them, understanding them, what can clog them, what can damage them. Yeah. Or you're working with spirits. They come in to help. Some not so much. Some they just kind of look at you and go, yeah, I'm not going to help you. Good luck on that. They're gone. Yeah. Crystals. Crystals are good. Yeah. Some have an affinity to them. Some work better with them than others. They're all out there. But it's all energy based to me. Everything's energy. We're energy. You work with the energy. You move the energy around. You feel the energy coursing through your body, out your hands or around you. You walk into a room and the energy just feels different. And it can be overwhelming. It can just throw you off. You walk up to that person, or a person walks up to you, and you find yourself backing off, backing up, backpedaling, because you don't want to be nowhere near them. And what happens if you're working at a job, and say it's a client comes in, or a boss comes in, then you feel it. Well, you sure ain't gonna blurt out, man, I don't want to be nowhere around you because your energy sucks. You got to put up the walls. You got to put up the protection. Yeah, and you have to have protection. Yes, you do. Don't think you don't. My goodness, it's energy. You have to protect yourself. If you don't protect yourself, nobody else will. You have to protect yourself if you're going to continue to be a healer and help others. Otherwise, you'll just get sick and sick and sick and never get anything accomplished because you didn't learn the basics of protecting yourself. Always. And soon it just becomes second nature to you. That's the good thing. It just becomes second nature to you. You don't think about it no more. It's always there. It's always around you. There's always that little piece of you. So yes, you can be an energy healer. But yes, you got to pay the price. And there's always a price. Don't think there's not. You may lose acquaintances. You may even lose a marriage. It's going to happen because as you get into this field of energy healing, you change. You look at things differently. You feel things differently. And others around you, whether they know or not, and usually they don't, they sense a change. You're not the same person. You feel different. You act different. You move different. And they cannot handle the change in the energy as you vibrate differently, higher. They can't. If they can't vibrate right along with you, it's going to be a hard row to hoe, I'm telling you. Hopefully you'll find somebody like I have that sticks with you, encourages you. Yep. So that's where I'm fortunate in that aspect. So just remember, if you want to be an energy healer, do your due diligence. Learn. Ask questions. But ask questions that nobody else asks. What happened to you to make you a healer? What happened to you as you went through the process? And it's a continuing process. What were your highs? What were your lows? Everybody's different. Now I'll tell you a story. Years ago, wife and I were going to church. We like church. It's good. We was going to this one church. Had a preacher in there, come from a different state. He's a good guy. I thought he was a good guy. He wasn't so worried about the monies. He figured the monies would come to the church if he did a good preaching. And that's the way I felt too. But this one day we got out there at the church, got out of the car, and I just stopped. I told my wife something's wrong. She says, what is it? I said, I don't know. I said, but something is wrong about the whole area, the church, the parking lot. Something was wrong. Didn't feel good about it. It just did not feel right. But we went on it anyway because we wanted to go to church. Got in there. About 15 minutes into the church, one of the deacons or whatever, I don't know, stood up and said they were going to let the preacher go because they wasn't getting the revenue in that they wanted in. Wasn't supporting the church. Well, this church had a TV station and all that. I know, it's a big church. So in my mind, what I felt was the energy was gone. It had left the church. So in this big church, I said, well, I've had enough. So I stood up, told them what I thought, told my wife and daughter, it's time to leave. I said, we just left the church. We've gone to another one, but not that one. So that's where they put money over the preaching. And that's just my opinion. Good, bad, or indifferent, that's just me. But I felt that as soon as I got out of the car, something was wrong. And if I hadn't acted upon that, I think just been building another dam, blocking the energy, blocking what was right, what needed to be said. So I said it, we moved on. Life moves on. But you will have those events in your life. And you choose whether to not say anything, which will cause a block in you, or saying what is right, hopefully in a positive manner, and move on. But that's it for right now. So I wish you the best. Don't tell me my phone went out again.